I promise you all. My kids be so quiet until I start talking. Then they want to talk. They want to be loud. They want to sing. They want to blow whistles. But you know what? We can get through this, okay? We gonna get through this. I just did my healing experience, which was the video right before this. Y'all know Saturdays is my Sabbath. If you don't know, now you know, okay? And I don't do anything until after dark. That is why this is called Story Time Saturday After Dark, because I wait until it gets dark in order to do anything work related. Today has been an amazing day, a very chill day. Slept in, got up before my kids, read my book. I've been reading Psycho-Cybernetics. I was reading the audio version, but it's not necessarily complicated. But the way that my brain works when it comes to stuff like that, I need to be able to see it on paper, be able to take notes to actually apply it to my life. But that's not why you're here, okay? We'll talk about that on Tuesday, okay? We are getting back to our book talk. I just did a 6-week book talk on It's All in Me, My Journey to Freedom and Living Abundantly. If you do not have a copy, feel free to go get it from Amazon or get it from my website, JaleesaHardy.com. Let me make sure y'all can hear me because I know how this little setup be. If you can't hear me, please let me know. Excuse me, if it's muffled, please let me know. Um, but yes, we did our 6-week book talk last month and a month before. It was amazing. Goodness gracious, girl, get your tongue together. It was an amazing experience. Let me pause and take a breath because I just did that healing experience, and I've been drinking my coffee, and it's super late. I drink rice coffee just about every day. So let me pause. And if you're here with me, feel free to pause and take a deep breath. One more. All right. I definitely needed that, okay? I will be talking about dating after divorce, okay? And it took me a while. It definitely took me a while to even put myself back out there, to even entertain the idea of dating again. Because I was just at a point where I was like, I was so disappointed with my decision making when it came to men that I was like, look, my picker must just be broke. It just must be broke. I'm not even about to be out there picking. Not even about to keep doing all of that. But I realized in human design, I am a 6'2", and what that means is specifically the sixth part is that I am here for to have a plethora of experiences, whether it's relationships, whether it's life experiences, jobs, careers, like all of those things. Like I'm not meant to stick to having one experience in one area. It's literally like every area of my life I am meant to have a plethora of experiences. I'm meant to explore and learn and try new things, do things, learn things through trial and error. So if you have a 6 line in your profile, that's why life just be life and okay, and it be like you like, look, can I just breathe? Can I breathe before another experience comes my way? That's how it is. But I'm learning to embrace and also enjoy. Like my word for the month is joy. I am intentionally choosing joy when people okay, when life is life, and I am intentionally choosing joy. But my experience, I talked about my experience with, going through my divorce, how everything happened, my healing, part of my healing journey. A lot of my healing in the beginning came from having the right therapist. Tara, please stop and get out of there. Having and finding the right therapist and being able to process through the different experiences that I had that led me up to that point in my life where I was considering, at the time, considering leaving my marriage. And I stayed with that therapist because she worked for me. We worked for each other. Um, and I was able to see so clear. I was able to do the work to heal and release myself from the guilt and the shame of, being a single mom, of being divorced. It was never something that I desired, never something that I wanted. And I just felt like I was damaged goods because, I had children and I was divorced or would be divorced. So that healing journey, that healing process, I'm still going through it, honestly. I'm still going through it. Because this was years of, but I will say, energy healing and human design has really supported me with kind of quantum leaping my healing and making the process so much easier and so much faster than I would have had I not had those things in place. And also psycho cybernetics has also been supported with that as well. Um, but when I originally, felt led to get out there, I don't know if y'all know about Kendra G's single show. I got on there in, I think it was almost a year or a little over a year after my divorce. And that experience, I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because that's not the main story for tonight. But I did get some responses. Talked with a few guys, one of them in particular, but he was out of the country, and I just felt like he was after something that I wasn't willing to provide. I'm gonna just say that. So that didn't it didn't last very long. I ended up having to block him and then block him again and then block him again. um, but I did, and that experience showed me that I was able to feel again, that my heart was able to beat for someone again. Yes, yes. Yes, I'm a lover. Like I'm a lover girl. I love love. I love being in love. I love, having my person and being able to shower them with love and being able to receive love from them. So I do tend to fall fast. I will say that my heart tends to get involved way too fast. So with that whole situation, definitely, I know at the time, I in my past, I moved too fast in relationships and getting my heart involved with people. So it was definitely a lesson for me to, like, okay, girl, slow down, chill out. Like, don't get your heart too involved. Don't get your feelings too wrapped up too soon. So that was definitely was some self awareness with that experience. Um, and then I met a couple of guys. One out in person, um, didn't last long. That was a whole nother experience. And then, like, for a while, I was just like, I was over it. Like, I just didn't want to talk to anybody else. And just on a whim, I'm a manifesting generator, so my magic is in the moment. If I feel lit up by something in the moment, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Because I had already said that I didn't want to do online dating. And I had said that based off of, other people's experiences. So I was like, let me go ahead and experience it for myself. And maybe it wasn't the right platform because I did get on Facebook dating. It was like a new update when I was on Facebook, because now I'm not really on there. I watch videos and stuff that my mom and my sister send to me, but other than that, I'm not really on Facebook. I do have one group that I'm on for my doula certification program, but other than that, and I might respond to messages, but other than that, I'm not really on Facebook. And last year, I did two 40-day fasts from social media completely, and Facebook was completely off the table during both of those fasts. Um, but once I got back after the first 40-day fast, I got back on Facebook for a little while, and they have the new update with Facebook dating as a part of the app. Like, you can see the little heart bubble. And I set up my profile, and when I tell you, I got so many matches, like so many matches. And some of them like you would match with them and they wouldn't even like send a message. And I think that was maybe me. Maybe I shouldn't have waited for them to send a message. Maybe I should have sent a message. But I only had conversations with those that sent me messages. And my experiences were just like, if I wasn't in the space and place that I was at the time, and this was almost 3 years after my separation from my ex-husband, if I wasn't in the place that I was, I probably would have said that I was traumatized. But I did say I might be traumatized because I'll probably never do online dating again. Probably never ever ever do online dating again. So it was like four to five guys that I had connected with and I was like having consistent conversations with. And one of them like one tried to scam me out of some money, tried to get me to send him some money for a hotel room. The other one like was mad because I didn't want to see him in the shower. Another one like couldn't have a conversation without sex being a part of the conversation. Like, and I had already like set the boundaries and let him know like, I don't know you like that. We're not having that conversation. Like, I don't like. Can we have a different conversation? And after so many times, I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good on you. Um, he was a cool dude. We when we could have like regular conversations, like there were good conversations, but it somehow will always lead up to sex. So, um, sorry YouTube. I forgot. I don't have. I gotta be more intentional about my filters. um, but after that, it was like 4 or 5 experiences that I had, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. And there was one guy in particular that he was so sweet. Like even from the very beginning, like we clicked, and our conversations were really good. It wasn't like he was like overly like pushy or anything like that. Like we really got along really well, like from jump. And I ended up like letting him know like, yeah, I'm not looking for anything. Like I've been on here and I've pretty much had the experiences where I'm like done with even trying to date or even trying to get to know anybody. And he was like, well, and I know he hadn't done anything at that point in time. And it just so happened that he was, I don't even know if I want to give all of these details because if he ever sees this video, he's going to know that I'm talking about, well, he'll probably know that I'm talking about him anyway if he ever sees this video. Um, I'm just gonna tell my story because he's actually blocked right now. He might not be blocked on YouTube, but he's blocked on my phone. But somebody might see it, but I honestly don't care. But um, so he told me something. It was like the way that he did it. We were having a conversation, and he sent me his profile or whatever so I could see his pictures. And he let me know that basically, like sending me that profile, he let me know that he was in a wheelchair. And then he asked me the question. Like I didn't want to make it like the center of the conversation, so I just asked a different question. I don't think it was anything about the wheelchair. I think I asked him like how long have you had the locks or something like that. I don't know, because I didn't want to make that like, oh, you're different. You know what I'm saying? It was just the way that I was thinking at the time. I didn't want to like make a big deal out of it. Um, he was like, "Have you ever dated anybody in a wheelchair?" And I was like, "No, but I'm open to it." Because again, my picker and the guys that I've been picking, my quote unquote type, has not been working. So, um, after I had told him like I'm not looking for anything. We can just be friends. He was like, "Okay, I understand." Um, but I feel like he was basically saying that he feels like he should get a chance because he didn't, it wasn't him. He didn't do anything. So we ended up, just talking as friends, continuing to get to know each other, and we continued to vibe. We continued to click. We had talked over the phone, video chatted, all of that for over a month. I know for some that might not be a long time, but for me, for a girl like me, that's a long time. Because it don't take me long to fall. I'm gonna let y'all know. It It don't take me long. It don't take me long. Some consistency, some good conversation, and a vibe. I'm trying to do better to be more intuitively guided instead of being guided by my emotions or guided by the representative that shows up in the beginning of relationships or in the beginning of getting to know people. Um, I wasn't taught how to have a healthy relationship. I never had a close example of a healthy relationship or what that even looks like to get to a healthy relationship. So it's a lot of trial and error out here. Okay, I said it. I just said okay. I'm a six line in human design. So a lot of experiencing experiences in order to get to my person, and my beliefs have changed over the years. And when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to sex, when it comes to marriage, like a lot of things have changed. And the conversations that we were having, it was literally like I felt like we were on the same page as far as like, if we're gonna do this, then it's gonna be us, and we're gonna be committed to each other. Um, and at the time, I didn't realize just how much healing I needed to do when it came to healing from not only my ex-husband but also from experiences with my father and my mother. Um, and the energetic work helped me to uncover those things and really release them so that I could be a better version of myself and make better decisions when it comes to men. Make more intuitively guided decisions when it comes to men. I'll say that. um, but we had, after a month, like I mentioned, he is in a wheelchair. Um, I'm not going to necessarily share why he was in a wheelchair, but he's in a wheelchair, and um, we got along. We definitely got along in the beginning. Our names were similar. Um, he had older kids, which I appreciated because my kids are younger, and it could be a lot to deal with somebody with younger kids, especially if they got more than one baby mama. He has two baby moms, but his kids are older, so it wasn't really an issue. Um, and he was 5 years older than me. I think probably the oldest guy that I've dealt with. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. This stage and phase of my life, probably the oldest age gap that I've dealt with in my 30s. Maybe not. I don't know. But he was older, 5 or 6 years older than me. Um, and there were habits that I didn't know he had until I got around him. When I tell you we had good, amazing, like in-depth conversations. We would play like 21 questions. We would play like Would You Rather, all types of stuff to get to know each other. All types of stuff to really get to know each other. And this wasn't something that I took the time to do in most of my previous relationships or encounters or situationships. So that was one thing I did learn, um, and I appreciated it because we were both open. I was open and honest, I'll say. I was open and honest. I can't really speak to or speak for him. Um, but I was open and honest. And one of the things that I learned from that experience was not to give anyone that much access to my children before I know that this person is real and genuine. And for me, um, because my daughter specifically got attached, and he got attached to her, and that was one of the reasons why we kind of went our separate ways because there was a point of contention around that. Um, but in the beginning, everything was good. I know that I moved too fast. I was in therapy pretty much the entire relationship. I was in therapy, processing and navigating through things. I was very aware. I would definitely say I was very aware of what was going on and what I was doing, how I was moving, the different things that were happening, the flags that were there, whether they were red, green, or yellow. I was aware, very aware. I wasn't ignoring anything. Processing through it in therapy. I did at some points in our relationship. It was only 4 months. It was only 4 months, y'all. It was literally only 4 months. But a lot of stuff happened in that time frame that led me to just be like, yeah, nah. Like the final straw, we were having a conversation. He's a Virgo. I would never ever, as long as unless God sends him, I won't mess with another Virgo, because it was too much. It was way too much. And me, the type of person that I am, I will let you know if something is bothering me or if I have an issue with something. And it's not necessarily to argue, it's not necessarily to go back and forth. It's for me to share with you what's bothering me. And whether you decide to change it or not, that's up to you. And I get to decide how I'm going to move forward from there. But I felt like he was he became very manipulative and very deceptive once he felt like he was in good. And like, although like we will break up, yes, in a 4 month time frame, we'll break up or like say, hey, stop please. No. A tear grace. No. Please don't do that, and you know I'm recording. No. All right, I'm about to go upstairs. Stop. Then stop. She said no again. Don't come over here. You know that I'm recording. Stop, please. Go watch TV until I'm done. Okay. All right. Excuse me. No. Then stop, please. Go. Um. Where was I at? But there were like experiences that I should have knew from the very beginning. Like this was not it. So one thing in particular, like the thing about me, I'm very intuitively guided, and my body speaks very loudly to me. I'm a sacral. I'm a sacral authority in human design. If you want to know more about human design, just go to my website, jaleesehardy.com, and you'll be able to get your human design chart. You need your date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth. And on that actual page where you get your human design chart, I have more information there. And you can get it for free. But I have sacral authority, so my reactions are very bodily. My body reacts to things and gives me messages. And if I don't pay attention, things get progressively worse and more intense. And one of the things with him was that I was getting yeast infections every single month. Every single month, if some months, twice a month. And that wasn't something that I dealt with before. Okay? So my body was already trying to tell me from jump, like, this ain't it. But I was like, oh, maybe it's just da da da, like making excuses, da 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 da, like, nah. I don't know if it was his diet. I don't know if I was just, I don't know. But um, that was not it at all, because it was leading to like irritation and like not like mental emotional irritation. And it was like he really didn't, like he was trying to blame me for it, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. There were times where he would go missing, and I say go missing, but it was really just him not answering his phone or him like not calling or texting for like hours at a time, or not responding to messages for hours at a time. So for me, if you're my significant other, I have the expectation of consistent communication. I had the expectation of consistent communication. Um, but he wasn't able to do that, and it was always an excuse or always a blame, or he would say that he told me something and he really didn't tell me, and I would literally have text message receipts like, this is what you told me, that's not what you told me. And it would still be like, oh well, I told you this, I told you that. And I'm like, yeah, nah, you're not about to gaslight me and make me think that I'm crazy. So it was a lot of that. A lot of when he would get upset, like saying and doing stuff that was not love at all. When you say that you love me, but when you upset, you can say like real nasty out of the way things, and then come back and apologize and say, oh, you know, I ain't mean it, I was just upset, da, 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 or try to put the blame on me. And I won't I try not to like bash or say like, oh, it was all their fault, whatever the case may be. But I feel like I did the best that I could with what I had, and apparently he was doing the best that he could with what he had. But his best was not what I wanted. So I made a decision to walk away. And we had tried to be friends and save each other's lives, and it just got to the point where at the last time, not the last time, probably the second to last time, we had a conversation, an actual conversation. We had got into it about something. I don't remember what it was. Um, excuse me. And he said to me, "Don't text my phone ever again." That was it for me. And me being who I am, once I disconnect or detach from you, that's it. That's it. Once my emotions are no longer attached, that's it. And when he said that, it clicked. Everything shut off. And I blocked him. And I had said to him before that, we're gonna try to work stuff out. We're gonna try to be friends, whatever the case may be. I won't block you no more because I have that habit of blocking people, cutting people off when I don't want to be bothered. So yeah, he was like, I hate when you do that. Cause he would call me. He would still call me from burner numbers, and different numbers. Have his friends call me or call me from. Hey girl, he would call me from different numbers. Hey Aaliyah, I appreciate you. He would call me from different numbers, and I would just be like, I would eventually like give in to talk to him, but that final "don't ever text me again," that was it for me.